Welcome to 319 Event Center. I'm your host, Rachel Cahoon, and this is Show Me Chefs. Our last two chefs will be competing in our final quarter round episode filled with a few surprises. Both chefs will be battling for a chance to move on to the next round and win that grand prize of $3,000. Now, let's meet our chefs.
My name is Tommie Kelley, and I came here about 7 years ago, and I came here as an internship. I'm from Thailand originally. I was love cooking since when I was a kid. Cause my mom, she cooked. She have her little own bakery shop. So I learned from there. Normally right now I like to do Asian fusion. I love seafood, so I cook a lot of seafood at home actually. Normally we do a concession and stadium. Some group they like fancy food, or some group they like just simple mashed potato, grilled chicken. We adjust the menu, follow the customer. So that prize money, normally I want to buy a ticket and go back to visit my parents. So I didn't see them for 5 years. After everything get done with the Show Me Chefs, and if I win, that time that May that I can go visit my parents. I just worry about myself, that I really nervous. I know all my competitors, they all chefs, so I know that, and I will prepare myself. I wanna prove myself that even I come from another country, but I still wanna fight, and I still wanna win. That's I want.
I am Brian Isaacs. I am the chef, back house manager for the Market Grill here at Hy-Vee. Started here in Springfield, actually in Branson. Sous chef at Twin Oaks Country Club, chef at Fremont Hills Country Club. I went to high-end steakhouse chef for Sullivan's Steakhouse, Del Frisco Restaurant Group in Dallas, Chicago, and Omaha, Nebraska. Probably my specialty is more of bistro pub food with a southern rustic, like southern food. I think I'll do fine. You know, everybody's got an opportunity, and it's just, you never know how it pans out with the mystery basket, but I'm pretty confident going in. There's a lot of good chefs you're going up against though, so, and that's the thing, just have fun. Just have fun while we're doing it. My strategy, would be to pick out the hardest things first, stuff that I may not be familiar with, try to figure out what I'm gonna do with it first, because the stuff you're used to using, that'll be a little easier to come up with. My competition was here. I'd say let's have a good time. Let's do the best we can and put out the best dishes for the judges to try.
All right, chefs, for your first challenge, it is the lightning round challenge, where you will have 15 minutes to create the perfect dish using the mystery items. The loser of this lightning round will have to cook with a penalty in the entree round. You guys ready to find out what this is?
Sure. I'm just gonna keep flow. I mean, we don't even know. I mean, until we see the mystery basket. And even then, you get an idea what you're gonna do, but you really don't.
Okay, chefs, your mystery ingredients are gingerbread spiced cashews from Redneck Nuts and hibiscus grisette from Show Me Brewing.
Oh.
You guys like that?
Sure, yes.
You will also have a pantry provided by Mama Jean's Natural Market, a spice rack provided by Down to Earth Foods, bread provided by the Artisan Oven, and an assortment of meat in the fridge provided by Express Foods, Horman Meats, the Dar College of Agriculture, and Mama Jean's Natural Market. You guys ready to get started?
Yes.
Let's go.
Chefs, your 15 minutes starts now.
For the basket that I got, really didn't expect to have alcohol in there. So I'm like, okay, what I'm gonna come up with. Thank you so much.
Here you go.
Brian, when you tasted the beer, what type of beer is that?
It's a hibiscus. It's got a really kind of a tart tang to the end of it. It's cool to see beer. It's easy to play with. The hibiscus is a little different. The ginger almonds were All right.
Let's see what Catherine's up to over at Show Me Brewing.
I'm here with Andy Pearsall. He's the owner of Show Me Brewery in Springfield. Thanks for having us.
No problem.
So can you tell me the story of this place?
My wife, about 8 years ago, bought me a home brewing kit, just a basic starter kit, and I started brewing with that, and it just kind of went from there. We decided Springfield needed a home brewing supply store, so we offer that, but we also offer brewing classes. Groups can come in and brew here. We're a microbrewery also, so we sell beer that we make too. There's not anything else like that around here, so we felt it would be a good fit.
Can you tell me about how people have reacted to this store being here?
We've been received pretty well so far. A lot of people like it. The people that brew typically are very friendly and open with each other and like to just have a good time.
So do most people that come in here already brew, or are they like first time brewers?
Well, we have a couple different groups of people that come in to do it. So there's the group that comes in to get their supplies that already brew at home, and then the groups that come in to brew here typically have never brewed before, so they don't know anything about it, and we walk them through the whole process.
Right, and you offer classes too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are the classes? How do they work?
When you just come in and you book a time, and again, we walk you through the whole process. It takes about 3 to 3.5 hours to make it from scratch, and then a couple of weeks to ferment, and then brew 10 gallons on our system. 10 gallons makes about 100 beers or so, and we store it and ferment it here, and then you come back to bottle it up. You take all those bottles home. I mean, it's just a fun hobby. You know, you get to make beer and share it with your friends.
Chefs, you have 10 minutes left.
Found shrimp and went with that. Actually wanted to pull them out of the shell a little bit, but they were half to 3/4 frozen.
He half the shrimp, and that was a smart move with time.
Yep.
Looks like he's gonna roast them shell on,
Yep.
which will intensify the flavor.
Completely. And keeping the head and the shells in does intensify the flavor immensely.
Make for an interesting presentation
Correct.
too.
Michael, do you remember when you went through a lightning round?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Do you remember
Yeah.
the ingredients that what you had to work with?
We had the vegetarian episode.
That's right. That's
for,
right.
For one of the lightning rounds, and that shocked me enough for about the first few minutes.
Yep.
So.
Tommy, you got honey over there?
I don't see. Here,
Thank you.
welcome.
Now it's time to meet our panel of judges. Our first returning judge is Mary Fawcett, co-owner of Bambino's Cafe. Our second judge is Season 2 Show Me Chefs winner and Drury University campus chef at Fresh Ideas, Michael Old. And our final returning head judge is Angela Winnathantry, executive chef and general manager here at 319 Event Center. How you guys doing today? Great. Yeah. Michael, how's it feel being on this side of the table?
Definitely less nervous.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to from these two chefs today?
They need to go far and beyond. They're both very talented.
Yeah, which is awesome. And Mary, how does it feel to be back in the kitchen?
Oh, it's always fun to be here. It's
Yeah.
really interesting watching all the chefs.
Chef Tommie, are you kind of going with kind of a bruschetta type? I see you were doing the,
Yes.
okay.
And just have a little bit of the salad or like vinaigrette to give.
Sounds wonderful. It's always a pleasure to see somebody get truly excited and just cooking with passion. That's what I see on Chef Tommie.
Yes. He's very confident.
Yeah.
When you're behind cameras, then you start second guessing yourself, and in the kitchen you normally don't do that.
Sorry, a little bit messy.
That's okay, get messy as much as you want. As long as the plates are good. And make sure you have full plates, chefs.
5 minutes to go, chefs.
Let's hope those get done. Push it right to the end. Nobody wants to eat raw shrimp.
I'm really pretty curious, the hibiscus beer, what, you know, the aroma and the flavor is not, I don't think it's like a normal, everyday
No.
hobby beer.
Smart Brian had a backup plan in case his shrimp didn't get roasted. He had a pan hot on the stove
Put it right
just in case
Yep.
they didn't get roasted.
They really jumped in right away,
Yeah.
like they had
Yeah.
something immediately in
Yeah.
mind that they were going to do.
And it shows how talented and skillful these chefs are. And now it's going to be tough for us as judges to judge when you truly have two great chefs competing against each other.
I mean, out there it works two totally different things.
30 seconds to go.
I mean, I kind of found myself getting a little nervous towards the end.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chefs, your time is up. Chefs, in this round, you had 15 minutes to create the perfect dish using the mystery items of the gingerbread spiced cashews from Redneck Nuts and hibiscus grisette beer from Show Me Brewing. It's now time for you to present your dish to the judges. Chef Brian, you will present first.
Well, you know, we had the head-on shrimp in there. I went ahead and just split them in half. A little simple olive oil, salt, and pepper. Roasted them in the oven, left them in the shell. A little harder to eat, but I think the flavor is going to be better. Finished them in the saute pan with a little more olive oil. I took the hibiscus beer along with the cashews, honey, vinegar, and sugar, and kind of made a vinaigrette. A little bit of the cashews in there for texture, and just sauteed finished the shrimp and the tomatoes with the hibiscus beer.
You said you used honey in the vinaigrette for the salad?
Yeah,
Okay.
just over top the shrimp, basically.
The flavor of the shrimp is very nice. It's not overpowering. It's not under-seasoned. It's really, I think, it's a happy medium.
I think the flavor is very good, and I'm picking up that almond in the dressing on the salad. I like it.
I think it's got good flavor. I think it is hard to eat. You know, maybe pulling, after you roasted it, maybe pulling the shrimp out of the shell would have been, you know, a nice presentation.
You do some really nice food in the kitchen, but when you're behind the cameras and you're under the gun and you're like, then you start second guessing yourself.
Overall, the flavors are good. It's a good dish.
Thank you, Chef Brian.
Thanks.
Chef Tommie, it's now time for you to present your dish to the judges.
I made for you today is candy gingerbread nut with candy. I just do a little bit of candy bacon to bring that sweet, but not too sweet. And I just made it's called like champagne vinaigrette. I put lemon and honey and lemon zest in there to bring more citrus. And a little bit of basil.
Where did you use the nuts in the dish itself, besides the garnish?
And I use not put in saute bacon to caramelize to get more sweet out.
I tasted in there, I just couldn't find it.
Good eating. It's really good.
I really like the crispy texture of the baguette, and the bacon flavor really complements everything else you have on this plate.
The baguette could have been just a little softer. Okay, a little more chewy, so that way I can put it on, put the topping on top of the baguette and take a bite.
The bread that I use, the crostini, is a little bit crispy, so I should plate a little bit earlier, so I think it might soak up the vinaigrette a little bit more, so it's kind of easy to eat.
But the flavor-wise, the candied bacon, the salad, the presentation, well done.
All right, chefs, it's now time for the judges to deliberate your dishes. You may now exit the kitchen. So judges, for this lightning round, their mystery ingredients seemed fairly easy. Did they go above and beyond in their dishes?
Well, that's where the talented two chefs like that, given two easy ingredients, beer and nuts, you know, you can go any which way with that.
Yeah, it was hard to get to. The shell, doing the shell on gives it more flavor. Like Angelo said, if we would have just taken the shrimp, still used the shell as part of a garnish maybe, probably would have ran into a higher score because we would have tasted the roasted shrimp.
I was a little disappointed in the flavor of the shrimp in Chef Brian's dish.
Chef Tommie's dish had a lot of flavor.
I think it just was very flavorful. It really is still sitting on my
Yep, and I
on my
still got
tongue.
goosebumps just really with that, yep.
Right.
So judges, do we have a winner for the lightning round?
I think we do.
All right, let's bring the chefs back in.
Awesome.
Show Me chefs will be right back after this break. Welcome back to the kitchen, chefs. Judge Angelo, will you please reveal the winner of the lightning round?
Chefs, it was a great round. The lightning round was decided by 3 points. The winner of the lightning round is Chef Tommie.
To be honest with you, I feel so much better that at least I'm like, okay, at least I can breathe.
I just want to let you know if you were not able to take the shrimp out of the shell to actually taste them. Yeah.
Mine came down to the shrimp not being pulled out of the shells, and it wasn't about flavor, it wasn't about technique, it was just about that one little thing. So I can live with that, I can walk away from that and be all right.
Congratulations, Chef Tommie. Unfortunately, Chef Brian, you will be cooking with a penalty in the entree round.
Okay.
Chefs, you may return to your stations. All right, chefs, in this entree round, you will have 35 minutes to complete the perfect dish using the mystery ingredients in those baskets. Your mystery ingredients are fresh rainbow trout from Rock Bridge Rainbow Trout Ranch, roasted chilies from Broken Wire Ranch, Big Iron Porter beer from Show Me Brewing, and Gouda cheese from Mama Jean's Natural Market.
Beer again.
Now, Chef Brian, since you have the penalty in this round, are you ready to find out what that is?
Oh, I'm supposed.
All right, well, for this round, you will not be able to use your food processor.
Okay.
Using the first round, you think it's going to be a little challenge in this one?
No, I think we're good. I was thankful it wasn't a 5-minute head start for her.
Okay, well, chefs, you ready?
Yep.
Chefs, your 35 minutes starts now.
I'm kind of curious what it tastes like, huh?
Dark
Yes.
chocolatey.
Dark chocolatey.
Dark chocolatey, I think.
I see go well with the cheese, but I don't see the cheese going well with the fish.
With the
Right.
Yep.
So
Chef Brian, working in a butchery, you have cut up fish and...
I have, going a little different route. Normally I would do this whole, but after the last round I figured, might not this time. I really didn't want to fillet it normally. I knew what I wanted out of it. And I really didn't feel like I had time. I didn't want to be picking through bones and everything, so I cleaned it the way I cleaned it. And then I threw the head away, which probably set Michael off in another world.
Chef Tommie, have you cooked with trout before?
Yes, but normally I cook with the whole trout. Rainbow trout is not something that I expect because they have a lot of bones. To make it easier to eat, I think I'm just gonna have to fillet them.
Let's find out what's new at 319 Event Center.
319 Event Center have 2 locations. The new location at 505 East Traffic Way is called Gray Rocks at 319 Event Center. We are going to open a restaurant school.
The restaurant school is a part of the new location, and it will be all-encompassing with our events and the show.
We're going to be concentrating on cooking, the front of the house, back of the house, advertising. We will be covering the A to Z of restaurant business. The idea of having the restaurant school is another way to bring the community together, give people an opportunity for a very, very, very low cost to understand and learn what it takes to open a restaurant.
We're in this to be a part of our community and bring everyone together. We want to make a real impact. I think that's going to be shown with our efforts in the school. I want it to be a part of the future that they will always look back on and always look forward to being a part of it.
Chef Brian, while you are prepping your ingredients, tell us about Hy-Vee.
Well, I'm the chef for the Market Grill. It's a full-service bar and grill restaurant. We opened about a year ago. Got about 20 beers on tap. Full firm service menu, pretty much all from scratch. So just trying to change the idea of what people see from Hy-Vee or from a grocery store and a restaurant.
Do you utilize any of those beers with your menu at all?
I use quite a few of them. I love to cook with beer.
You have to look for the technicalities, and especially dealing with 2 experienced chefs like this,
Exactly. It's all in the detail, as you know.
Yes. It's not just a taste.
Right.
When you go somewhere to the restaurant and you see the dishes or the plate, the presentation, you're just gonna be, oh my God, that looks good, or wow, I don't think I can eat that. So I think the presentation of the food is important.
Chef Tommie, how long have you worked in the convention center in Branson?
I work for Convention Center for, this year it's gonna be 2 years. Normally all that we do is the big function and concession.
So what's like the, what's the largest group?
If for concession we do for 5,000, the max.
5,000.
Wow.
And if for the plate eat or buffet, we do for 700 to 1,500. So the max that we do for last year is 1,500 plated.
Wow.
Doing banquets in the past myself, getting that temperature right on the steak, especially if it's going to hold in the hot box. And the first plate needs to look just as beautiful as that 1,500 plate.
Yep. So Tommie, we have a banquet of 4 full plates. That's it.
That just makes me nervous.
Chef Ron, is cheese something you'd particularly pair with fish?
Not normally, unless you buy a McDonald's fish fillet. We're gonna try to go a little different route with it though. We're gonna pair it, try to do just a little different take on it.
It's definitely different being on the other side. I saw you start some rice in the beginning. What kind of rice did you start?
I do turmeric and roasted pepper rice. And I will go with the kind of like creamy beer sauce, like it's kind of like blanc, but I just use this beer to make it kind of like instead of white wine. Try to do risotto because it's not risotto rice. So that's why I cook the rice first and I reduce the beer, the porter beer. And I try to make like a brown sauce, but I just put a little bit cheese on there. Fish really light, so I just go a little bit heavier on starch and sauce.
Chef Tommie, how old is your daughter?
She gonna be 4. I know she is everything to me. I'm a single mom, so it's kind of like hard, it's really hard to raise your kid, like by yourself. So that's why like the most of my time I want to be with her.
Let's find out more about Care to Learn, one of our partnerships in education.
Hi, I'm Doug Pitt, and this is Care to Learn. Care to Learn is about meeting kids' needs quickly, emergent health, hunger, and hygiene. I think everybody realizes you have poverty where you live, but we often don't know the severity of it. Poverty stays hidden. It's not something that's fun to talk about, and unfortunately, if you're one of those suffering from poverty, you try to do your best to just fit in. When I started hearing those stories of 3 kids sharing a toothbrush, a 5th grade boy wearing his mom's jeans, it was just heartbreaking, but also simple as far as in the fix. Obviously, we're not solving his poverty issues, but we are meeting some things that help him with self-esteem. So we started in 2008 and quickly be approaching 10 years here, funded over 750,000 needs. One that speaks to the severity of poverty in our area and in Missouri, but it also speaks to the amazing people that have donated, that have given of themselves to help us be able to fund and say yes 750,000 times. With Care to Learn, it's completely anonymous. Of the 750,000 needs that we've been able to fulfill, I've never met one kid, and the reason is the kid didn't ask for it, they sure as heck didn't deserve it, and we want to keep it private. But what it means for me is just that kid smiling, being taken care of, knowing people love him. That when you're looking for a partner charity, I think we have a great one for you in Care to Learn, and obviously with Show Me Chefs and what you're doing, this is a prime example of how this works. It's an example of how we as a community come together and take care of one of our own needs. You can find us at facebook.com/Care to Learn Fund, that's F-U-N-D, or also on the web, caretolearnfund.org.
I don't think the penalty's going to affect Brian at all.
No, I'm good with that food processor.
Exactly.
I think one of the penalties last season was a 5-minute head start
That was
that I got.
That's kind of what I thought was going to happen.
Five minutes to go, chefs.
I hope Chef Tommie can get everything done. She does not look worried at all.
I know the appetizer round that I want, but I feel more pressure because I feel like how I gonna pull that out again.
Seems like Chef Brian's almost done. walking around trying to figure out what he can shoot extra on that plate. 5 minutes seems like a long time when you're done with the plate, isn't it, Mr.?
Well, I'm not sure I'm done yet. I'm just trying to figure out if I want to add anything else or not. Once I saw what it was, I kind of knew where I wanted to go with it. And then I was actually, in the back of my mind, I was kind of hoping, man, I wish I could get done early and take these minutes and put them on the dessert round.
You don't want one portion to overwhelm another.
Correct.
You want to balance on the plate.
1 minute to go, chefs.
It's like time wasn't a factor.
Time was not a factor at all for either chefs.
30 seconds to go.
So, Chef Brian, I know you're looking over there. What do you
Good looking
think?
plate.
Looks pretty good, huh?
That looks great. No doubt about that. A little worried. Maybe I should have done a full-blown entree.
Don't worry, it might be not good
But,
like this.
It's a competition.
Yeah, I figure doing things different might be a little more fun.
True. And it's always taking a chance and see.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chefs, your time is up. Show Me Chefs will be right back after this break. Okay, chefs, you had 35 minutes to complete the perfect dish using the mystery ingredients in your baskets. It's now time for you to present your dish to the judges. Chef Tommie, you will present first.
Today I make pancia rainbow trout with turmeric and roasted pepper, rice, and I do Kelley roasted asparagus with the powder brown sauce.
Chef Tommie, how did you utilize the cheese? I saw you put it on top of it. Did you use your cheese in a different way?
I put in the sauce a little bit. I put in a little bit in rice too.
I think the cheese on top, since you had the cheese in the rice as well, I think that's an afterthought. Your flavors shine through. Should stand behind that. I think it's a good dish. It's a good entree. Nice job, chef.
Yeah, well done.
Thank you, Chef Tommie. Chef Brian, it is now your time to present your dish to the judges.
I told myself when I did this, when I decided to go ahead and do this deal, that I was going to stay true to myself and keep it very simple, very rustic. So we did basically take on street food. It's a fried tortilla. It is a kind of lightly sauteed trout with a take on a mole sauce with a porter. Basically, it's a porter with chocolate, a little bit of a jalapeno, a little bit of the salsa, a little bit of different spices, honey. And then we made a basically guacamole with no tomato. We used the roasted red peppers in front of the tomatoes and onions, and just basically made a guacamole with that.
I like the flavors. They come together really well. I like that. Just enough cilantro, not too overpowering, and it's a good flavor.
It's kind of on the edge of being an appetizer, being an entree, but I think it falls in that category of street food, which can be either or.
Yep.
I think it's a great tasting dish all the way around.
Since you went kind of the tortilla, the street food side, maybe a little bit of, if you put some little beans on the saute pan and had some kind of starch to go along with it, would have been a more complete plate. I mean, I think you hit exactly what you did exactly what you wanted.
Thank you, Chef Brian.
Thank
Okay, chefs, it's now time for the judges to deliberate your dishes. You may now exit the kitchen.
So, Mary, what do you think about the entree round?
Well, I thought both dishes were very good. I was a little disappointed in Chef Brian's presentation. It seems like he really didn't put as much into it as he could have. Having that giant fire tortilla just smeared with the filling, I thought could have done something differently there to make it a little bit more appealing.
Yeah.
It almost had that kind of effect to where you take a piece of the tortilla and grab it, but like I said, that's not exactly how you want to eat an entree out.
I know he wanted to go as a street food, and he stuck to that street food side, but it was an entree round. It's not just what he wanted to do, it's an entree round.
Tommie was able to put a vegetable, a starch, and the fish on the plate, and to present it well.
Chef Tommie made a sauce that really went well with the rice.
She does something where she really brings up the intensity of the flavor. I'm not really sure what it is she's doing, but it just seems to have that intensity that stays with you.
So judges, are you ready for the dessert round? All right, let's bring the chefs back in. Coming up on Show Me Chefs.
I've been confident all day. Probably a little more nervous going into dessert round. It's definitely not my strong point.
I think the judge will pull something or the basket, crazy basket or something like that to make us feel like a little more challenged.
Welcome back to the Kitchen Chefs. We have one more round of cooking, and that is the dessert round. You will have 25 minutes to create the perfect dish using the mystery items in your baskets. Okay, chefs, your mystery ingredients are caramel pumpkin pie from S&P Catering, oranges from Mama Jean's Natural Market, red top oven Taos Sunset Jam, and bourbon barrel quad beer from Show Me Brewing.
A couple of good beers and some oranges, some jam I never heard of, but it tasted all right, and a whole pumpkin caramel pumpkin pie, so it looked like fun.
You guys like those?
Yeah, I live with that.
When I see the basket, I didn't expect to have pre-made dessert. Like you make something from scratch or you get something from the box, but not remake something. So that is kind of like tough.
All right, well, chefs, are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Chefs, your 25 minutes starts now.
I thought, okay, I'm just gonna pull something out and make from scratch, something quick and easy.
Chef Tommie, I see in your face when they were describing the ingredients as kind of a panic. I don't think that was too much of a worry, is it?
Yeah, it's hard to make dessert as a dessert,
Do you do much cooking with beer?
I cook some with beer, but normally we cook with wine and brandy and whiskey, stuff like that.
Now keep in mind, Chef Tommie, Missouri Spirits has provided us some liquors that you can use also. Chef Brian,
Yeah.
what does that jam taste like?
It's it's got a texture of like blackberries and raspberries with all the seeds and everything.
Okay.
It's kind of not a real sweet. It's got a little bit of bitterness at the end.
Let's see what Catherine's doing at Red Top Oven.
I'm Jane Ford.
And I'm Kathy Hubbard. We own Red Top Oven.
We spent probably 10 years making cheesecakes. That was our initial thought. We would have a business because we love doing cheesecakes. In 2008, with the downturn in the economy and everything that happened, it was a blessing in the long run. It opened the doors for us to be able to build our own commercial kitchen. Then I started looking at my grandmother's zucchini relish recipe that I make all the time.
Jane says, I'm going to make a sauerkraut with cranberries in it. And I thought, you're crazy. But she did. Oh, it was delicious.
My plan is to try to have a seasonal sauerkraut, something really different. Right now we make the Bavarian and a spicy sauerkraut and relish the kraut, which was another creation I call Milwaukee style.
So a lot of the pepper jams, I think you can use those for a glaze on meat. You can obviously put it over cream cheese or brie.
Everything's my favorite. When I want something that we make, I'm fortunate. I go to the back storage room and just get it out and eat it for supper, breakfast, whatever I want. It's a lot of labor of love.
Chef Brian, I'm sure. I know Entrée round, you didn't care if you used the food processor or not with the penalty. But
That
I'm
would have
sure
been really bad this round.
You're gonna need that this round, don't you?
This round I do, yeah. I just kind of decided I want to do something deconstructed, so just kind of use what I had, and so I kind of went that route.
Chef Tommie, if you win $3,000, I know it's a couple of steps away, but if you win $3,000, you have an idea what you're gonna use it or spend it on?
Yes, I'm gonna buy a ticket for my daughter and take her to my country to see my parents.
That's
Because she
awesome.
never see my parents at all in her life since she born. if I can get that 3,000, so it means it's gonna be her ticket to go there with me. You know, it's gonna be a really big deal because it's just gonna make my daughter see different world. It's kind of like different vision.
Someone asked the same question from you, Chef Brian. $3,000, what would you do with it?
Take my wife and kid on vacation.
Go back to the oven again. Wow. 8 minutes, Chef Tommie.
Parfait.
Okay.
I know that my berry compote is gonna be hot, so that's why I try to make my cheesecake, my no-bake cheesecake, kind of like chill.
Chef Tommie, when's the last time you made dessert?
Yesterday.
Oh, okay. For your daughter or for work?
For work, for
Okay.
promotion. Yeah, because my bakery, my baker call in. So I have to come up with something for them.
5 minutes to go, chefs.
Chef Brian, did you use the beer to make that sauce that you poured in drizzle?
The chocolate sauce I did, this is a quick caramel, brown sugar, just a kind of a brown sugar caramel, a little lighter. I wouldn't say lighter, but not quite as thick.
Gotcha.
But chocolate, the beer and everything is in the chocolate sauce.
Strawberries from Mama Jean looks pretty good right there, huh? It's so nice to see two different, completely
Yes.
styles of desserts that we're going to get to taste today. You happy with it?
Yeah.
Good.
1 minute to go, chefs.
Chef Tommie coming down to the wire.
Thirty seconds. Five, four, three, two, one. Chefs, your time is up.
Good job, guys.
Okay, chefs, for your last round, you had 25 minutes to create the perfect dish using the mystery basket of ingredients. It's now time for you to present your dish to the judges. Chef Brian, you will present first.
Well, I did took the ingredients, I did a deconstructed pumpkin pie. Made a kind of a quick crumble and then used the pie crust in the crumble. A little more cinnamon. I made a chocolate sauce with the beer, the oranges, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of honey. The pumpkin pie filling is the caramel pumpkin that was in there, along with mascarpone, yogurt, a little bit of lime juice. And then I made a quick brown sugar caramel to go over top of that. I wanted to do a deconstructed so you could taste the different elements. Would have loved to put powdered sugar and mint on it, but I think I threw those away on accident maybe. I don't know. But I hope you enjoy.
And I think you want, just like you said, you wanted us to taste the different elements of the pumpkin pie, and that task was achieved by you right there.
Sweetness on this side, mixed with lightly unsweet on this side. The two marry together.
They do. They come together really nicely.
Yeah,
And they added a little bit of caramel, really helps over here on this
I
side.
think that was a really, really nice touch, adding that the last minute of the caramel. Good job, really.
Thank you.
Chef Tommie, it's now time for you to present your dish to the judges.
Dessert that I make for you today is no-bake pumpkin cheesecake with berry compost, and I use the pie crust as a crumb to get a little bit crispy, so it's not everything not so liquid.
The cool thing about this dessert is you can taste the tanginess and the sweetness of the compote and the creaminess and the crunchiness. It's really layered correctly, and we can taste all of them together. It's a beautiful dish.
The blueberries and the jam, it just adds a little bit of a different sort of flavor to this, coming down into that with the sweet, creamy filling, and then getting that jammy sweetness is really, really good. This is really good.
How did you use the beer? You're talking about how did you use the beer? In what level? In the compote?
I use beer with the compote and jam
Okay.
to cut little tangy, but I just put a little bit of orange zest in there to bring more the
Gotcha.
citrus.
You did get the parfait effect. Definitely what's in the cup stands out.
Thank you.
All right, chefs, it's time for the judges to deliberate your last dish. Stay tuned for more Show Me Chefs. So, Angelo, both chefs are, pretty close in the scoring as of right now. How did they both do in the dessert round?
Well, they both went two different routes.
I thought her dessert was extremely creative. She did a tremendous job with difficult ingredients, and putting a whole pumpkin pie into something is not an easy task.
I think Chef Brian had a good balance of sweet and semi-sweet. Everything together or individually were nice components.
I think Chef Tommie achieved a task that I was kind of scared that she
Right.
couldn't make.
Judges, do we have a winner for today's episode?
I think so, huh? Yes, we do.
All right, well, let's bring the chefs back in. Welcome back to the Kitchen Chefs. It's now time to pick the winner of today's quarter round episode. Mary, can you tell us about Chef Tommie's dishes?
Chef Tommie managed to take some really basic, simple ingredients and make very complex and flavorful dishes.
And Michael, can you tell us about Chef Brian's dishes?
Chef Brian, when we look at the flow of appetizer, entree, and dessert, and it was balancing all over the place, but it was all good individually.
And Angelo, how did both chefs do overall?
Being in a competition like this is never easy, so let's put that up front. But by saying all that, thank you so much for being here. Two great competitors. So the winner of the fourth quarter round is Chef Tommie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Chef Tommie. You are the winner of the quarter round episode. Unfortunately, Chef Brian, you are not the winner of today's episode. What will you take away from your Show Me Chefs experience?
It was a blast. There's definitely, things that could have done a little different. But like I said a while ago, I came in, I was one to do it my way. I wasn't going to bend in that too much. And so I felt like that I put out a really good food, and I'm all right with it.
Well, we want to thank you so much for being here with us today. You may now exit the kitchen.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Good job, Brian.
Thank you, brother.
I did it my way.
I know. That's
Thank you.
thank you.
Congratulations, Chef Tommie. You are the winner.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Inspiring.
How are you feeling right now?
I feel a little bit more confident, and I know the next step is going to be harder and more depressed, but I will do my best, and I might have to practice a little more.
So what will you be taking from this episode to the semifinals?
I will take my confidence with me, definitely, and I just try to take a risk, but not too risky for myself. But it's just gonna make it like my challenge to prove that I can do it, just like the male chef can do.
Yes.
You took risk, but you completed every dish accordingly as you wanted to, and it was a beautiful job. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, Chef Tommie. We will see you in the semifinal round. You may now exit the kitchen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good job.
That's all the time we have today. I'm your host, Rachel Cahoon, here at 319 Event Center. Tune in next week for our first semifinal round where Chef Kim and Chef Anna go head to head. Ooh.
What I'm gonna call it from now on.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wow.